Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy Daychuck with Queen Bee Creations, and we are going to tackle this mess of there's all metal pieces on these in some variation, some way. And I figured while I was going to be doing one, I might as well do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. 5 of them. So some of them, it's not a major makeover, but I'm going to share what I would do anyway. I think that this is important if you're looking at updating some of your own decor to be able to see how quick or easy a fix it could be. I think it's also important if you have your own small business, a booth, or just even selling on Facebook Marketplace, how quickly for some of these things you can turn over. Some are going to be a little bit more involved. Kind of goes with the territory and what I'm into. So to start though, I have this little, technically a candle holder. I think it'd be super cute putting a little pot in there, some floral. So we're gonna kind of go in that direction. It's already in this kind of dark brown sort of color. So I'm going to go and spray paint it in the back white. I wanna freshen it up. I wanna lighten it up for spring. And we'll do a little distressing, but I'm going that direction with it. While we're spray painting, I have 2 of these big guys. So this I thrifted for $3.49 less 30%. So $3.49, $3.50. Let me go 35, 70. Let's say $1 off. So $2.50. I'm just going easy on myself here. These are big. I have 2 of them. 2 big cast iron decor pieces. These were $5.50 each, and again at 30% off. So I don't know, what's that? $5.50 is 10% is 55 cents, so $1.50, $3 each. $3, $4, $4 each. End of day math. So these 2, I am going to spray paint black. So while I'm spray painting and I make it stinky in here, I'm doing this and then I'm running home for the evening so that the smell dissipates. And for me, that's the easiest way to go because spray paint gives me a headache. If it doesn't bug you, then cool. If it does, do it outside, do it in the garage, do it somewhere where you've got good ventilation. I'm gonna do it and run. I have a series of these hooks. I got them for $5 for 6 of them. They all have little tags on them saying that they sold them for $15 each, which perhaps explains why they didn't sell, because $15 each, come on. But they have this little it's kind of an off-white, light gray kind of porcelain knob. So I'm gonna start by taping that off, and I will likely then spray paint them black, but I wanna do more zhuzhing to it. But I'm gonna have to tape all that off first, and we'll see what kind of time we have. These babies. Love this, love these, but it's a little bit dated. I don't love that this is dark brown on here. I think we kind of lose it a little bit. So I'm going to tape off the white knobs and spray paint the hardware black, and then we'll have to zhuzh this up, and I'll need to take these guys off as well so that we can get this painted and distressed. So there's a lot of taping and spray painting there. I don't have a lot of time left today. That's a lot of taping. I may have to fake it tomorrow too. And this little guy, I just want him to be very cheerful. So I'm gonna tape off the bird, which is in gray, and then I'm gonna look and see about some kind of a soft yellow, maybe, to paint the metal as a direction to go. Because I don't want everything black and white. What fun is that? So That's what's happening to begin with. This has to get taped off. There's a lot of taping off. There's a lot of spray painting happening. But that's just all basic stuff. It's the zhuzhing up after that that I think becomes important. Y'all can paint things one color. It's the what do we do afterward that creates a little bit of a distinction. And I think that becomes the important part. So let me go with that and I'll get back to you. I have our little hanging birdhouse taped off. The bird was like a light gray. I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything with that or not. It depends upon what it looks like when I switch this out. I'm going to use buttermilk cream, which is this very soft pale yellow, to be able to paint all of this piece, both inside and out. So it's going to take a couple of coats on both sides. This is buttermilk cream infusion. And then the board that we have the big hooks on, I just spray painted it. It was black. I spray painted it white while I was spray painting everything else so that we had a base because I wanted to do it in a soft pink. So this is also a fusion color, rose water. So I'm gonna get a couple of coats on here, but it made sense to spray paint it white first. So I used less of this and it's just gonna go on easier over the white instead. And since I had that going, it made sense to do that. So I'm just gonna get both of those painted out right now before I check on some of the other projects. I can have these drying while I go and check the others. For our little bird cage, all that I'm looking to do on this now is just a little light distressing. So we're bringing back just a little bit of that darker color here and there so it doesn't look so pristine and white. And then that's done. I'm just using 320. It doesn't take much. I also spray painted a little clay pot. It has some styrofoam in it. I'm just going to take these little sticks that were still in it. And what I'm looking at doing is I've got some small little florals and I'm looking to create just a little bit of an arrangement of these. Looking for my snips. There they are. Little bit of an arrangement of these in here that we can then have our little floral pot full of these. And I'm just going to do up the florals and then I'm going to glue that into the center. And then this one is done. These two cast iron kind of little decor pieces, both have been spray painted in a matte spray paint. This one, I have taken carbon black mica powder and just dipped it into my little, using a little stencil brush, and I rubbed that all over this. And it gives it this great finish, much more interesting than this one. So you were just rubbing that in and you can see how that just kind of transforms the piece. Now, ultimately, just blow off excess, but a couple of places I missed, but I'm just rubbing it in. Now, I do have this silver gray that I am debating adding on in using a small brush, but I want to get these finished first because I'm thinking it might be enough in terms of the finish on there. And it really just kind of gives it much more of that cast iron look. You know how cast iron has a little bit of that shiny finish to it. This gives it a little bit more of a metallic kind of glaze, much better and more interesting than the flat. And just to change, I mean, I debated doing gold on it, but I'm kind of just digging this as it is. I'm thinking that they look really, really lovely done this way. Just look at the difference. Okay, and now I've decided to add just a little bit of that silver gray, just in some of those lows. I'm using the small stencil brush to be able to get it down in there. And it's just giving a little bit more of a highlight, but I'm not doing tons of it so that it overpowers the finish, because I'm loving this. Okay, some experiments, guys, just work out awesome. Just look at that versus that flat black, and just a little bit of that shimmer happening. Those are pretty. I undid all of our wrappings, our tape, off of the little guy, and I'm just going to lightly distress some of this fusion yellow paint. So again, it doesn't look so pristine, and that it kind of starts to tie in a little bit more with that gray bird in behind. And then that will give me a better idea of how I feel about the gray bird more than anything else. I kind of like them. I was thinking of maybe white waxing it, softening it out. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to live with it for while I'm finishing off the other projects, and then make a decision. Sometimes I just have to keep looking at these things. But the contrast works, so I'm not sure. These little metal hooks, we have spray painted black. We've got the cream undone. What I want to do is just zhuzh them up a little bit. And interestingly enough, there are 3 different patterns, 2 sets of the 3, which I didn't realize when I picked them up. I have a wet sea sponge and my hand in a glove just to avoid getting totally messy. And I'm dipping my sponge into some of Brushed Steel Metallic by Fusion. And I'm just looking for something that would allow me to get a little bit of that paint out onto the lid that I could dab into. There we go. Give that a try. And I just want to do like a different look on these. I don't want everything to be the same. So I'm just going to take this and kind of dab this color on it. And I have to, for the hook part, kind of twist it around so I can get all sides of it. So we're going for this mottled kind of look for now. Doesn't mean I'm done, just means I'm seeing where it's going. Okay, the next thing, this takes no time to dry. So the next thing that I want to do with these is I actually want to add a little bit of copper. So I have copper gilding wax. This one happens to be by Annie Sloan. And I just want to kind of lightly gild it over the tops. Now, I love mixing metals. I love the look of copper with the brushed steel, and especially like with the black background. And it just starts to create this really aged sort of look and patina on the piece, which I think it was lacking before when it was just kind of that flat burnished steel. So we get the copper with this, just makes such a difference, doesn't it? Okay, let's take a look at these finished projects. So first up is our little numbered board. So cute. I think way better looking than the dark wood. We've got that soft pink. Did a little bit of white wax just around the edging to be able to soften it out a little bit more. And, you know, definitely an upcycle from $3.49 I paid for the board. And then I can't remember if I got 20 or 30% off, but, you know, for around $3, a little bit of paint and wax. That's it. Super cute. We've got our little caged bird. So just as a cute little decor piece, I mean, certainly you could pop this off and you could do with a candle in the center, but I just wanted to add just something that was a little bit more of a decor piece, just something that's kind of cute and spring-like, and definitely love it with those little yellow and purple flowers. I think it makes it pop against the white. We did our little caged bird. I did distress it. I added a little bit of white wax onto the gray to soften it, and then decided to add just a titch of it as well. Titched a little bit on some of the yellow to soften it and tie it back in. And I love how that looks. I love the contrast of it, and I think that that works really well. We have our hooks, 3 different looks for this. If you, so 3 different styles, but all done kind of the same with that black and steel, you know, brush steel, and then a little bit of that copper on it. So mixing the 3 together gives it kind of that really nice, worn, kind of aged look, way better than that plain steel that it had before, that galvanized metal. They were doing $15, $14 for each one. Craziness. But I will definitely group them in their respective pairs so that we've got the same ones paired off together. And I think that those are super adorable. The last piece, our 5th item, were these big cast iron scrolls. Now, they are a pair in the sense that they go, oh, I can't lift that. That they go opposite to one another. So I will probably group them together to sell as well. But way better than that flat back is that just that kind of little burnishing that those mica powders gave. If you can recall, this is what they look like. This is what they look like now. I love that sheen. I love that little bit of shimmer. Definitely makes them interesting without being overwhelming. You could have painted them black and then dusted, you know, used a little bit of gold gilding wax or silver gilding wax. I didn't want to go that distinct or that heavy with them. And trialing out that mica powder on it, I think, was just kind of the finishing touch. Let me know what you think of these 5 different thrift flips, all with a metal element in them. Let me know which one's your favorite. Was there a favorite? What did you think of these? And, you know, love to hear your thoughts, your comments as well. Always looking forward to seeing you on the next one. And until then, take care.